Hey guys, how's it going? Coston Avilez here, Team Six Figure Society. What's up? Coming to you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. I told you guys I would upload a couple videos for training, get you guys off to a fast start once you join the team. So I thought I'd start out with cold market prospecting and what's really working for me, what I've seen work for the team. And the nice part about this video is it doesn't have to just be for Wake Up Now. This can actually be for any business that's in the industry. So feel free to use my videos and let me know what you think. But just for cold market prospecting, the first thing I want to start on is just, guys, stop thinking so much about it when you guys are out in the cold market. I did it myself and I understand. But the more you think about it, when you're sitting there, you're watching somebody, you want to approach them and you're thinking, how am I going to do it? What am I going to say? How am I going to look? All these different things start going through your mind. Stop. Because all you're doing is you're making the situation seem harder than it has to be. And so really just start thinking of your why. That's what helped me. Why am I doing this? That starts to take some of that edge off. But then what really helped me is I got to the point where I could just visualize myself as $1 million man or $1 million woman for some of you girls out there, right? Just start visualizing that in your head and just saying, I'm $1 million man or I'm $1 million woman. And that will help you bring your posture up to the point where you walk up to this person with the posture of $1 million man with $1 million business, offering them an opportunity of a lifetime. And that just kind of helps put it in perspective for yourself so that you can actually know what to say and how to say it. And, just start a conversation with them. Don't try to make it harder than it has to be. So just to kind of lead in, the 3 C's is what I usually tell people. By 3 C's, I mean charisma, confidence, and compliments. These are the 3 biggest factors when you're out in the cold market. Because if you don't have charisma, just to start out with, nobody's going to want to talk to you. You're going to be that awkward, introverted guy that they can't carry on a conversation with, and it's just not going to be fun or inviting. So if you have charisma and you're just a little different than the norm out there, and there's a reason for them to keep talking to you, then that's going to be just that much easier to keep the conversation going. So say stuff that normal people probably wouldn't say, or act, super excited or just upbeat and friendly. You just don't see that anymore these days, which is sad. But most people out there, they're just like depressed looking and they just don't have a lot of charisma, But then confidence and compliments, guys. These kind of go hand in hand because the confidence is that posture I was talking about. But compliments is how you start the conversation. So when you see people out in the cold market, find a way to compliment them. Unless you're already carrying a conversation on and you can just kind of lead into it and it just started without you trying, walk up to somebody and compliment them. If there's a guy in line at the coffee shop in a full suit, walk up and compliment him on this suit. Be like, man, you dress pretty sharp. What do you dress for? You work in the area? And you just kind of compliment them and you start that conversation. It starts it off nice, or you can have a little bit more charisma. Be like, man, that's a sharp suit. You work here or what? You just kind of do it however you want. Just be real. Just be yourself. But have that charisma. Have that upbeat personality. And then with women, that's the hardest part for us men, is walking up to a woman and complimenting her and not making her feel like you're hitting on her. And so what I've kind of figured out works for me, and it works the best, is to compliment a woman and then point it in another direction. And what I mean by that is if there's a woman that's wearing some cool heels that my wife might like, or even if my wife wouldn't like them, I just walk up and be like, hey, those heels are, my wife would love those. Where did you get them, if you don't mind me asking? I like them. And you just kind of, you compliment them, you start the conversation, but you're not complimenting them for the wrong reasons, and they realize that. So that's the easiest way to compliment a woman, is just compliment them on something and then point it towards your wife or girlfriend. It doesn't matter if you even have a wife or girlfriend, just make it up. And that'll just kind of lead into it with an open mind, basically. The conversation. So just to kind of go into how we can do this. The compliment is where we started out, right? That's the reason why you walked up and approached this person, is because you wanted to give them a compliment. Started out the conversation. Then you're going to lead into small talk. So you're going to be talking about those hills, or you're going to be talking about where this guy in the suit works. And I put a question mark there because every conversation in the cold market, it's not going to be the same. You're going to have different conversations, and there's just no telling what the conversation is going to lead to next, or what really happens. But basically, you have your small talk, and don't try to cut it short, guys. Keep it a reasonable amount of time, 2 to 3 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. But if it starts getting over 10 minutes on the conversation and there's not really much more to talk about. Cut it short, and the easiest way to do that is tell them you're in a hurry. Be like, dude, I've had a great time talking to you. I have to split, but, and then that's when you lead into your exposure. Or if you didn't have to cut the conversation short, then just randomly in the conversation, you could be like, you know, and right here we're actually going to, or sorry, not exposure, we're going to compliment again first. And you're going to give them the reasons and have them remember the reason why you actually came up and talked to them in the first place. So you're going to go back into it. You'd be like, yeah, man, so, you know, the reason why I actually came up to you was because of your heels, or, you know, talking to the guy in the coffee shop, the reason, you know, I complimented you is because you look sharp, bro. But the reason why I actually said that is because I own my own business. And that's piquing their interest, exposure, right? Or with the woman, you could be like, you know, I've had a great time chatting with you, and you're really opening. I like that. You're very professional when you talk. That's awesome. And, you know, now that I think about it, I actually own my own business. And I like to use this as well, because it makes it seem like you weren't talking to them for just this reason anyway. But you say, you know, this might be a shot in the dark, but I own my own business, and that piques their interest. And then you give them a question. You say, so I own my own business, you know, exposure, piques their interest. They're, you know, interested in what you have to say now. And, you know, I actually look for people like you that are dressed really sharp, or, you know, they're very professional when they speak, very inviting, because that's just how you have to be in my type of business. And I would like to offer you a job opportunity. Do you keep your options open for opportunity? And, you know, you just kind of ask them that question. And when you ask them that question, most people, about 99% of the people, as long as your posture was right, the conversation was going well, they're going to say yes. Because everybody's open to opportunity, right? Most of the people out there, 97% of people, hate their job, you know? It's like, you just kind of have to lead into it that way. And so you give them the opportunity. You say, you know, I wanted to see if you keep your opportunities open when it comes to business. And most of them are going to say yes. And that's when you just say, great. You start to lead the conversation and close. And then while you're closing, you're actually going to use the word qualified, because to them, that's taking it away from them for a brief second and telling them that they might not be able to get this position. And so with the close, the best way that I've seen it work is, you know, you tell them you have an opportunity. They say yes. You say, perfect. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get together, you know, in the next day or two, if you're free. Let me grab your number. I'll give you my business card. We'll swap information. And I personally would like to sit down with you, because I like the way you know, present yourself, everything like that. And instead of having, you know, my colleagues sit down with you, I want to sit down with you personally and make sure you're qualified for the position, because I would love to work with you. And, you know, you see how that kind of puts you in a position of leadership already. And so they see you as a leader, but it also tells them that they're going to have to qualify for this position. They're not just going to get it handed to them. And so that's the easiest way I've ever closed people in a cold market, is just, you know, leading with that posture of being the $1 million man, telling them that you have an opportunity with them after connecting through conversation and, you know, compliments. And 99% of the time they say yes. They give you their number, you give them your business card or your number, tell them you'll give them a call. But you lead, you tell them, you know, or another way that I've really liked to use is giving them two options. So you say, great, well, I would love to sit down with you personally. When works better for you? Does Wednesdays in the afternoon work for you, or Tuesdays in the mornings or afternoons? And it just, you know, splits it up to where they have options, but they still, you know, they don't get to choose themselves. Because generally if you're like, well, just give me a call and we'll, you know, schedule a time, they're not going to call you. You know, they're probably going to forget that they even got done talking to you by the time they left the mall or wherever you might be. And so you actually have to make the initiative to give them a call, set up a time. But if you set it up right then and there, then it's almost like set in stone that it's going to happen no matter what, right? It's harder for them to flake out. And, you know, that's just kind of how it works in the cold market. And the biggest thing that I would tell you guys, and the biggest tip I could give you, is, like I said, be that $1 million man. Look for the right people. Don't just go up to anybody, because this really isn't for everybody. I don't want you to rule people out necessarily, but when you strike that conversation, start to qualify them, you know? Shake their hand. If they don't reach their hand back out to shake yours, they're not very professional, they're not qualified. Just be like, you know, I was just wanted to compliment you on this, but have a good day, man. unless you start complimenting them and they come out with this amazing personality. You can never really read somebody off of their, just their look. They might be a great person, they just might be dressed, kind of bummy that day. I don't know how to use, what word to use on that, but they might not look the best that day. And you can't really judge them for that based off of their actual personality, right? So, just, get to know the person, start to qualify them. If they're very introverted, then it's probably not somebody that you're going to want to bring onto your team at that point in time. You're looking for these professionals, these people that can be professionals, and you can train them to be the top of the top. And that's how you're going to have your business thrive, guys. So get out into the cold market. Don't be scared. Stop thinking so much about it. Let's get it. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to join the 1%. Coston out.